Making this rich and creamy chocolate Swiss Meringue Buttercream is easy, and I'm going to show you how using only 4 ingredients. We'll need 3 eggs, 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1½ sticks or 12 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and 8 ounces of chocolate. The ingredients and measurements are listed in the description below. First, we'll separate the eggs because we only need the whites. Be sure not to get any egg yolks into the egg whites while separating. As for our butter, we'll only need 1.5 sticks. Let's cut them into cubes like this. This will help us later. I'm using 2 4-ounce bars of Baker's brand semi-sweet chocolate. Notice that it only contains 56% cacao. This means that it won't taste as bitter as chocolate bars with a higher percentage of cacao. I bought them at my local grocery store, where you can see there's a nice selection of chocolate bars to choose from. These chocolate bars are easily dividable into smaller units. I break the bars into squares and place the pieces into a stainless steel bowl. To melt my chocolate, I'm going to do so with indirect heat. We'll boil some water in a medium saucepan and place the bowl of chocolate squares onto the saucepan. I use a silicone spatula to gently stir the chocolate as it melts. Once all of the squares are completely melted, I place the chocolate aside to cool to about room temperature. About 30 minutes later, I bring the same water in the saucepan to a boil again. Using the stainless steel bowl that goes with my stand mixer, I add the egg whites and granulated sugar. Let's combine them a bit using a whisk. With the indirect heat, the sugar will dissolve into the egg whites and the entire mixture will become thin and frothy like this. It's important to keep the mixture moving to not cook the egg whites too much and make them solid. You'll want to heat the mixture to at least 160 degrees Fahrenheit or 72 degrees Celsius, and check this with a thermometer. Once it reaches that temperature, remove the mixture from the heat. Next, use a stand mixer fitted with a whisk attachment to whip the egg white and sugar mixture on high speed. You'll want to fill the bowl occasionally to make sure it's cooling down to room temperature. You'll know when the meringue is ready for the next step when you see stiff peaks and the meringue is bright white and glossy like this. Next, we'll switch to the paddle attachment and mix the meringue on low-medium speed. This is where we start to gradually add the cubes of butter one by one. The butter should not be cold and hard at this point. It should yield when you squeeze it between your fingers a bit. Once all the butter has been placed into the mixture, we'll continue mixing for a while. And I mean a while. If your butter was too cold to begin with and you're worried that it's not incorporating into the mixture fast enough, you can simply take a kitchen torch and gently heat a few sides of your bowl as the icing is mixing. Be sure to stop and scrape down the sides of your bowl. Continue mixing. This part will take about 20 minutes or so as the butter completely combines into the meringue. The The icing will look curdled like this. This is completely normal. I know this looks weird, but trust me, you are almost there. Once the icing starts to look a little smoother, we'll stop the mixer and pour the melted chocolate into our mixing bowl. Doing so while the mixer is on will cause the chocolate to fly everywhere. Next, we mix the chocolate into the icing. Again, make sure to stop and scrape down the sides of your bowl. Now we have creamy and decadent chocolate Swiss meringue buttercream to fill and cover our cakes and cupcakes. This recipe makes about 3 cups. It requires refrigeration and will keep for about a week. If the icing has been refrigerated, allow the icing to soften at room temperature for a bit and re-whip it to regain the proper consistency. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button below and subscribe for more cake decorating tips and tutorials. A special shout out to all of my channel members, and to you, thank you for watching.